Champions Cup quarterfinal, the final quarterfinal, all French affair between Racing 92 and Toulouse. It was a pretty crazy game. If you watched this one, it was very tight. It had red card, couple of yellow cards, tries galore. In the end, it's 22 points to 21. Toulouse hang on for a pretty tight fought victory. They outscored Racing in terms of tries. It was 3-2. Dupont got a couple, Medard got one. All in the first half for Toulouse. Racing got one in the first half, one in the second. And some penalties and conversions for both as well. But, yeah, man, very crazy game. There wasn't any build-up to it here in New Zealand. I suppose two French teams don't quite hold the same attraction to, I guess, Kiwi viewers as much as perhaps some of the English-speaking teams do. But this was definitely a must-watch if you're a fan of the Champions Cup because, yeah, in terms of entertainment value, it's hard to go past this one. We did have some really good games in the other quarterfinals as well, but, yeah, this one was right up there. Dupont got us underway with a try, some quick ball, made it 7-0 to Toulouse. Racing hit back with a penalty, 7-3. Then Thomas got his try from an intercept from Finn Russell and a kick through. Racing took the leads. That was our first lead change and made it 10-7. Then Zach Holmes got red carded for Toulouse, and it was pretty early on. It was just after 20 minutes. The feed I had didn't have any sound from the TMO, so I couldn't hear what he was saying to the ref. But yeah, it was a hit on Imhoff, and it kind of went a bit high, kind of caught him in the throat with his shoulder. He was ducking into it, but as the tackler, that's the thing these days. You just can't put yourself in that position, so... if Imhoff had stayed kind of straight running, like standing up the way he would have been when Holmes lined him up, he probably would have hit him in the chest, but he came into it. So, red card. The ref did seem reluctant to give it from what I've seen, but he had to give it. So, Toulouse were really on the back foot from that point, but then not long after, Thomas got a yellow card. Well, I suppose a little bit of the ref kind of evening things up. You do notice when the team's been given a red card, the other team seems, I haven't seen any stats on it, but kind of more likely to be given a yellow card, and sure enough that was the case here. And boy did Toulouse capitalize on that yellow card period, because not long after Medard went on for his try after some kind of crazy passing. They missed the conversion, but that put them back in the lead, 12 points to 10. And then Dupont had a really sweet little step move that he went in for his try. Made it 19 points to 10. So the yellow card period was 12-0. So when it was 14-14, Toulouse won that 12-0. And that would kind of be crucial. That's the way it was at half-time. Racing hit back with some penalties in the second half. Like 48th minute, kicked the penalty, made it 19-13. Another one in the 54th, made it 19-16. And then Imhoff got a yellow card of his own. So he was involved in the red card as the recipient of that tackle. Toulouse had a pretty crazy intercept after absorbing a lot of pressure. Second half was all about pressure for Racing, kind of building pressure on Toulouse, but they couldn't quite crack them. So Toulouse hit back with an intercept, but Imhoff kind of laid all over the ball. He got yellow carded, so Toulouse got their penalty. It was the only points they would score in the second half. That made it 22 points to 16. So the yellow card was 3-0. It was kind of another case of Toulouse doing enough during the yellow card, but then Camille Chart came on, and boy did he have some power from a line-out that just got fumbled. Colby couldn't handle it. Anyone could have won that line-out, but it just ended up getting fumbled. So Chart kind of powered over from about, I don't know, 7 or 8 meters. Showed some proper power to get over the line. A key for them, they missed the conversion, so it was 22 points to 21. They actually won that second yellow card period, did Racing, but that conversion miss was pretty key because they went through some phases at the end, but in the end of the end, not able to get it done. 22 points to 21 it finishes, so Leinster fans will probably be pretty happy because now they don't have a trip to France. They'll get Toulouse for the third time this Champions Cup season, so it was one apiece in the regular season and the pool stages, so that kind of adds a little bit of spice to it, I suppose. Seemed like a pretty good crowd from what I could see. I have heard some guys tell me sometimes they show the crowd, but the upper rafters are kind of pretty barren, but the camera angles that I saw showed it to be pretty well attended from what I saw, in a pretty good atmosphere. You could hear Toulouse fans as well, which was nice. But yeah, man, if you're a Racing fan, you would just have to say way too many errors. Errors was just such a key thing for them. Toulouse kind of got all their points within a really limited window of time, and then just did enough for the rest of the game. Their defense was really good in holding out, getting kind of intercepts or turnovers at key times, or Racing would make mistakes. Racing did have another try chalked off as well by the team at one point, so it really could have gone either way. There was a really cool moment where Tamiafuna bumped off Famuina, so the two New Zealand props on each other. That was a that was really early on. That was kind of set the tone for the game. In terms of stats, Racing had 611 run meters to Toulouse's 364, so a lot more ball. They had 60 something percent possession? 59% possession in territory, so almost 60, so a lot of ball. In the second half, it was 80-20. So Toulouse, like I said, in the first half, they did their race and managed to get just far enough ahead. Second half, yeah, 80-20. It was just all Racing exerting pressure, but not able to break Toulouse down. Key, I suppose, if you look at the tackling stats, Toulouse are at 85%. They made 161 tackles, which is a fair evening's work. But for Racing, they'll be very disappointed. Tackling rate was 66%. Even a Super Rugby team would look at that and go, that's poor. So, yeah, really bad effort from a team which is in a quarterfinal of a European Champions Cup match. So, yeah, penalty count was relatively even, 5-7. Obviously, the cards, it was 1 red card, 2 yellow cards. Again, a little bit of evening that out there, but still, Racing had a lot of time with 1 extra man. In terms of individuals, Teddy Thomas tore it up in the run meters, 8 defenders beaten, 115 run meters, but Dupont had 9 defenders beaten. So he was a very hard man to contain for Racing. Richie Gray had 22 tackles, which was a good effort. Taseski for Racing had 11 out of 13, so they weren't asked to do that much defensively. But yeah, very entertaining game, and it sets things up really nicely, like I said, for Toulouse to get that rematch up against Leinster over in Ireland in about 20 days' time. So yeah, lots to look forward to. 2 cracking semi-finals, 2 Irish teams, a French team, and an English team. So still all to play for. If you guys saw the game, let me know your thoughts. I thought it was pretty entertaining. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.